Hi class, this is Mr. G, Mr. Garcia. So we are done with 1.8. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to go ahead and review 1.8. So for those of you that are still kind of shaky on it, it's like, okay, what did I just do? So I'm going to go ahead and go over that right now. If you got it, this is just going to freshen up what you learned already. Okay, so here we go. So 1.8, it was interpreting graphs of functions. Okay, so the essential question was, what are the key features of graphs? Okay, there's some features of graphs that we need to know for this section. So for this, for example one, we looked at this graph, and we were able to find if it's linear or nonlinear. Okay, so we found out it's nonlinear. We also found the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So remember, the y-intercept is where this graph crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept is where this graph crosses the x-axis. Okay, and we found that out. Example 2, we did the same thing. Okay, for example 2. But we found out that this is a linear. This is a linear function. Okay, and the y-intercept for this one, it crosses right here at the negative. And then the x-intercept crosses right here at 1, 0. Okay, so it's x-intercepts, y-intercept. So that's one key feature of graphs. That's one key feature. Actually, that's three key features. If whether it's linear, nonlinear, the x-intercept, or the y-intercept. Okay, we went on to example number 3. So in example number 3, we went ahead and looked at another feature of a graph, which is the line symmetry. So there's a vertical line that makes this graph symmetrical, meaning the left side is the same as the right side. So we found this one out, that this has a line of symmetry. Okay. Example 4. So it asks us for these characteristics for these. So it asked us for all three of these. If it's linear, nonlinear, it asked us with a y-intercept. It asked us the x-intercept. It also asked us the line of symmetry. So there's 4 features that it asked us from this graph. Okay, from these 3 graphs. So we found those out as well. Let's go on the back. So on this first example, number 5, okay, it was asking us whether this function is positive or negative. So what we found out from this first example, number 5, that anything above the x-axis, so anything above that's in blue, this is positive. This is positive. Anything below, this is a negative and a negative. Okay, and this is a function of x. So when it asked us this question, what part of a graph shows a function is positive? So the part of the graph that's above the x-axis, and the negative, it's the part of the graph that's below the x-axis. Remember, this is the x-axis. Okay, and then another feature we saw from the graphs is whether they are increasing or decreasing. Okay, so in this case, the red part, it is decreasing. Okay, because the slopes are negative. In this case, the slopes are going up. It's positive. And then in the red part here, it's negative. So this is decreasing, increasing, and then decreasing again. And once again, right here, this is f of x. This is the function. Okay. Example number 7. Okay. So we went over these. We went over the first one. We did not go over the second or the third one. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers now. Okay. So for this one, let me go ahead and save this one. All right. So for this one right here, it looks like we're going to find out. Looks like this graph is always on the positive side. You see how this is always on the positive side? It's always above the x-axis. Okay, so this is, for this one, we're going to do this. Remember, if you don't have room, you can use another piece of paper. So this function is positive. It's positive the whole time. Okay? Now, so it's never negative. So we don't have to put anything else on the negative. Okay? Now, let's see about increasing or decreasing. So it looks like if you notice it, it's increasing here, and then it starts decreasing, and then it increases again. Okay, so it looks like this little spot right here, it's increasing. From 0 to 3. X equals 0 to x equals 3. See, here's x equals 0, and about to 3 it's increasing. Okay, it's not exact. Okay, and then it's also increasing, and then it goes down and it increases again. So it starts increasing at, it looks like it starts increasing at about 11. So at x equals 11, x equals 11 on. So after 11, it's increasing. Okay, now let's look at decreasing. So it looks like it increases right here, and then it starts decreasing. So it starts decreasing after x equals 3. So from x equals 3, it's decreasing, and it's decreasing all the way up to x equals 11. Do you see that? If you zoom in more, you'll see that it's increasing, then it decreases, and it goes up. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and do the last one. The last one should have been easier. Okay, it's easier to see it. So here we go. So positive. Let's see where this function is positive, where this function is above the x-axis. So it looks like it's positive from, it looks like this is going up by 1, from negative 0.6, x equals negative 0.6 to about 10.3, something like that. It's about, okay? X equals negative 0.6 to x equals 10.3. So it's this whole thing, it's up. It's above the x-axis, so it's positive. And it's negative it's negative at x equals it has to be less than x equals negative 0.6, and when it's greater than x equals 10.3. Okay, so this way it's negative, this way it's negative. All right, and then now let's look at if it's increasing or decreasing. It's increasing. Where is it increasing? So it's increasing here. It's increasing here. It's also increasing here. Okay, so it's increasing in 2 spots. Okay, so it's increasing at less than what we see on here. It looks like it's negative 1.2, less than x equals negative 1.2 to, that's where it's increasing, negative 1.2 to about 1.6. Okay, and it's also increasing right here at x equals 3.2 to looks like 8 point at 8. Looks like it's 8. X equals 8. That's where it's increasing. Okay? Now decreasing, so it looks like it decreases here. Right here it dips down. So it's at x equals 1.6 to 3.2, and then after x equals 8, it's about 8. Okay, so it's positive at right here, it's negative here, it's increasing here, it's increasing here, and then it's decreasing here, and it's decreasing here. Okay, that's what we have right now. All right, guys, so we are done. And then after that, it was your summary. Okay, so the summary was summing all of this up. So you found out the characteristics of a graph by its x-intercepts, y-intercepts, right? Whether it's has a line of symmetry or not. Okay, whether it's linear or nonlinear. You also found out whether it's positive, negative, increasing, decreasing. Okay, those are the characteristics. So that's answering your essential question. If you have questions, then I'll be available for you after the video on the Google Meet or on the Go Guardian chat. All right, guys.